Hi, welcome back to the workshop. Today we are looking at Lionheart Trains' long-awaited O-gauge 3MT tank locomotive. And Mike, this in green or black looks incredible.
They do. I mean, I've always liked the BR3MT tanks. I think a really nice design which has that correct size proportions, boiler to tank size. Everything was just really nice about a 3MT tank.
It really is. I mean, and I actually had a good play on this with this locomotive on my layout Newton Grove, as you can see here on the footage, and it performed flawlessly, slow speeds, and also the sound profile that we had with it as well, which came courtesy of Digitrains. It was incredible.
Yeah, it's got a really high detail package to this as well. This is part of the Lionheart Trains portfolio, which is now part of Dapple's group of different brands. And Lionheart Trains, for me, has always meant high fidelity, lots of cast metal components to really give the model some heft and weight to it as well. And that authenticity was always a really important point for the Lionheart Trains model as well.
Absolutely, and of course the detail on it. I mean, the pipework on top of the boiler, also leading on top of the tanks, underneath the tanks as well, and also the cab interior detail as well. It really does look absolutely incredible. I need to get a thesaurus. I keep saying incredible all the time, but it's just one of these models where you look at it and you go, they have done everything so well. Yeah. It really is take it out of the box and enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's nice to see as well that a sort of medium-sized tank engine being produced for a gauge. I've seen lots of small tank engines produced, like the pannier size and down. We've seen bigger tank engines, like the large Prairie from Helton was produced a few years ago. We've seen some of the bigger tender engines done, but not so much of this kind of middle ground size that actually does span the difference between a branch line layout and a main line layout and can fit in with both really easily. 2 or 3 coach train, nice sort of size layout.
Yeah, I mean, and even if you take my layout into consideration, it's just basically a steam shed. You don't need any coaching stock or rolling stock behind it. You can just have it going up and down the yard, and it still looks fantastic. It really does. And the good thing about it is, being a small locomotive in O gauge, you can have a lot of presence in a small space.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Super locos. And like I said, it's brimming full of detail, loads to take into it. And there's also a nice powerful motor on the side as well, so you should drive direct down to the rear axle. And then you've got a 21-pin decoder socket in the smoke box. And like all the Dapple models now, it's got the slide-out PCB, so you just slide that PCB out, then you can plug your decoder in. There's a nice big speaker in there as well.
Absolutely. And as I said, there's sound profiles already, and of course Model U are actually already selling Loco Crew specifically for the 3MT as well.
That's right, and then one of the nice things about that as well actually is it's so easy to get into the roof as well, because it's got the magnetic removable roof over the cab, so you can just pop the roof off, put your crew in from the top, from above, haven't got to fight through the doors or anything like that, and then pop the roof back in and it snaps back into place on the magnets.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a real shame, of course, we haven't been able to see any of these run in preservation, but of course in a few years' time that's all going to change, and I think that's probably why they could have chosen 3MT, because you said earlier on they were very well proportionate, and of course the Severn Valley Railway and that group quite a few years ago did actually say these were the perfect locomotive for a preserved line.
Well, they are. I mean, they're exactly the right size. You know, they're simple, efficient to maintain. They're quite rugged as well, being the BR standard design. They've basically got all the best bits of the Westernisation and the BR Midland stuff all rolled into one loco to deliver a powerful tank engine which is fit for every job.
Absolutely. And of course, on the back of this, they've also announced the fact they're going to be doing the IVET Class 2, which we're very much looking forward to.
Yeah, no gauge, yeah.
Well, I've got my order down.
That will fit your layout, yeah.
Absolutely. But importantly, we know that they're available now. They've been long awaited, but what are the options and how much are they selling for?
Okay, so they've got different options in terms of delivery. So you've got the BR Line Green, you've got BR Line Black, there's also an unlined green version as well. And then you've got a choice of early and late crests on the BR Black locos. And then within that, there's also numbered and unnumbered locos. So plenty of choices in terms of what anyone might want to do for customisation. Then in terms of pricing, you've got 2 price points you can choose from. So you can have them for DCC ready, which is about £620 for one of those at the full RRP. Or you can go for the full DCC sound fitted version, which is £740 at Dapple's RRP from these locos.
And they really are worth it. And of course, if you are an O-gauge modeler, or even if you are thinking about getting into O-gauge and are thinking, what can I get and what can I fit in and what sort of price we're looking at, well, I guarantee locomotives like this are the perfect way to get your O-gauge journey started. And you can read I mean, Mike is trying to steer away from it, but even Mike is tempted with this one. I know he is. But you can read a full review of this engine written by Mike over here in HM213, our March 2025 edition of Hornby Magazine.
That's right, and there's also more online at keymodelworld.com. So thank you very much for joining us today and watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this insight into the Lionheart Trains 3MT, and we'll see you next time.